Okay, and here we are. We are on location today, Man About Town, at the Westerly branch of the Navigant Credit Union on Franklin Street, right at the junction of God, Hospital Street.
Wells Street.
Wells Street. I always call
Wells
it
and
a hospital.
Franklin.
Yeah. Well, the Franklin part I got right. You got to give me something for that. This is 321 Media, and we are not broadcasting from downtown Westerly. We are broadcasting from the Navigant Credit Union as we do every quarter during the year. I look, the next time we'll be here will be June 18th.
Have a lot different weather come then. That's my brother's birthday.
We'll get the food ready. We
Yeah.
could have birthday cake.
We could, the big 4-0. Hi, Mike.
Anyway, the birthday boy's sister happens to be the branch manager here, Gina Brancato. She is with us, and they are on camera. Yes. Okay, I know I'm not today, but they are on camera, along with Angie Swain. She is assistant branch manager. And you have to, don't just nod. You have to say hello or speak.
Hello.
What's new in banking?
What's new? Not
I
much.
have to ask you because every other industry and profession in this country seems to be topsy-turvy, going a little too crazy, worrying that this is the end of the world because of Doge and everything that's going on. It's not going to really hurt things here.
No. What's new is, it shouldn't be new, is our consistency. I mean, we are on we just had our 2-year anniversary in Westerly on February 27th, which was nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Where's the cake?
I know.
Yeah.
We ate it. And the business here has continued to grow. We go by the model of doing what's right for our members, being part of the community, helping improve the financial well-being of the members and the businesses where we are. So
well, your
Westerly,
members are your customers. Your customers are your members.
You're right. So aside from anything being new, I would say nothing is new. We are just consistent and happy to be here. We have great products that the competition offers, but you're going to get a little bit more when you come in, a little bit more of a one-on-one conversation, whether it's to help somebody in financial need or to improve someone who in financial wealth.
You'll get more if you come in today. And we're asking the public to come in. There is more food over there. And it is St. Joseph's Day. Happy St. Joseph's Day.
Yes.
Patron saint of Zephyrus.
Yes.
And
we have those.
Yes. And yes, there's a whole tray of them. And somebody was saying to me earlier, what are you supposed to say on St. Joseph's Day? And I said, may the cream in your Zeppelin not be rancid.
That's a good one. That would be very nice.
Yes. You got these locally, I take it?
I did, yes.
Okay, very good.
Yep, from McQuaid's.
Ted Avedition was talking the other night. Somebody asked him about Zeppelas, and he said, I don't eat them, but McQuaid's makes one of the best.
They
I'm
do.
told.
Yeah, they're
and he
delicious.
talked about Vesta, and then
Yes.
we went north a little
Yep.
bit. But
I've sampled them from everywhere. They're all really good. Everyone has their different flavor that they like or something they do different. I've made them homemade before, and
I was going to say you're really good.
Yeah,
at homemade.
I made them, and my mom actually made them this year, and they're everything's better when it's homemade anyway. But we have a lot of good bakeries in town, thankfully, because we're an Italian community. Right. So I don't think you can go wrong wherever you go for them.
I'm just thinking about the people that are watching as we live stream or listening on any of the platforms, and they're saying, "What's a Zebula?"
Oh,
it's a cream puff.
I will help you
with a custard filling.
Yeah,
she's going to show you. Yeah, it's basically a cream puff stuffed with custard filling of some flavor.
Is it different? I've only lived here 38 years. I've never had one.
Oh,
is the filling different than what is inside an eclair? Because that
Yes,
kind of
that's more like
custard.
that Boston cream filling. It is a little different, I think.
No, and that's the
And-
regular plain one.
Yeah,
'cause
this is the
they
original
have them,
because
I
you can
know,
do
with
Irish.
chocolate,
Yep.
and they
Rhoda,
have them
I
with
think you would
Irish
actually
cream,
love them because the
orange
cream
zest.
isn't very sweet. It's not
I
like
would like the
It's not.
cream. I wouldn't like the cake. I know that.
well,
and it's
I mean,
not. It's airy, like a cream puff. It's a texture thing for people, probably.
All right, Angie, you're doing a lot of nodding. What
Mhm.
is your favorite Zeppola? Do you like the plain ones like this?
Well,
Because
you're
this
gonna
is the
laugh.
regular.
But zeppoles are different from different regions of Italy. So the zeppoles that we make in near Naples are a potato, almost like a gnocchi, but they're airy, and you fry them and you put cinnamon and sugar on them, mostly sugar.
Oh, when you said the fried potato, I was with you. The
Yeah,
minute you
it's-
put
you
cinnamon
add-
on it,
you
no.
add mashed potato. No, you don't taste it. It airy makes the dough airy.
Delicious.
It's
Oh.
amazing. So
That's-
they're all different for different regions.
That's like a Jewish knish with the mashed potato inside a
Oh,
pastry.
well, it's not dumpling.
Ah,
It's not a dumpling. It's,
Almost kind of like a fried dough in a way, but it's
Right,
got that
yeah, it's
a
potato
little more
base.
texture.
Yeah,
right.
she's gonna have to
It's
make them for
delicious.
us.
meanwhile, the people in Smithfield are saying, we're paying for this. They're not talking about banking. I will bring you back by telling you when we were saying what's new. Now, you might tell me it's been going for 5 months, but I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch news and a couple of programs. I'm sitting on the couch the other night watching TV, and I see this absolutely hysterical TV spot. And I immediately grabbed my phone and I texted Tim. I would call it intervention.
Yeah.
The commercial.
exactly what
That's
it is.
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely
Is
right.
that what they call it?
Intervention. Isn't
is
it perfect though?
hysterical.
It's
It is so
hysterical.
good.
Whoever came up with that.
We have a
God
great
bless
marketing
them.
We
team.
do.
Yeah. No, they did a great job with that one. There's 2 new ones out there, and that one just makes me laugh.
Member of the town council has just come in.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah. We
intervention
really need to get back to credit
to
union.
switch your credit union or bank. But anyway, I can tell you, speaking to what's consistent also though, our Embark checking account,
Yes.
it's our student account. And I actually was at Charahoe High School last week. And we did this last school year as well with a colleague from our community engagement department. And we go into the classroom and teach Credit 101, which is just a great service that we can provide to the local schools. And we can offer it and other types of presentations at any age level. But this one was specifically about helping people understand a credit score, where it comes from, how to get one. You're going off to
Was
college.
this in
and-
the technical part of Charahoe
no, they
or the
have
regular?
financial literacy that they have to teach.
Good for them.
And
that
they,
do that.
yeah, so they allow us to come in and teach that piece of it. So that was great. And, with that, we like to talk about our Embark checking account, and that's for anyone age 13 to 22. Really 13 to 18, when they're a little bit older or out of school, they can change their account to the journey, which Angie will speak to. But it allows young adults to learn financial responsibility with the debit card, looking at their account online, watching it grow, watch what they're spending. And it's just a really good way for them to start that, be taking ownership over their finances, because before you know it, they're going to
That's
have
so
to.
great, because
Yeah.
when I went to high school, I swear there was nobody that knew how to write a check,
Right.
including me.
Yeah.
And when I went off to college and I had a small checking account that my mom opened for me, she said, "You're going to learn how to write these checks and how to balance a checkbook."
Right.
And I thought, oh my God, this can be so hard. It really wasn't. It all made sense.
And it helps you
But
when you're
what a
older.
smart thing to teach.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it was great. It's a great experience. We enjoy it. The kids, engage with it. And
How did you get the gig? Did they call you? Did you call
no,
them?
I outreached to the principal and to Susan Pryor, who's the head of the financial literacy there. And
Right.
she got us in last year, and it was great, and got us in again this year. And we tried with Westerly High School. Maybe this will give them a little push, but to let us in, because it's just really to help the students.
Sure.
But
is.
it's great. It's
Were
a great,
the kids pretty responsive?
very responsive. They were very engaged. They shared concerns and questions, and we give them a little pre-test when we go, and then a post-test at the end, and they learn something from it, which is what we want.
Especially
It was
about
2 days.
credit
Yeah.
scores, I would think, because that isn't something that you hear about much.
Right.
But when you're getting to be a teenager and you're maybe wanting to get a car,
Right.
credit score suddenly becomes very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And then just letting them understand it's not all about score either. It's about the whole report itself. And just explaining to them what that looks like. So it's a cool tool for them. And it's not, high-end education by any means. I'm not a teacher. It's just the basics for them. So which is
Right.
nice.
So you're going to tell us, Angie, about
The journey.
checking?
The journey checking, yes. So, like Gina said, the Embark goes up to 22. So they're like, okay, well, what do I do when I'm 22? Now I'm 23. We have the journey rewards, which is
So you're
for
holding people's hands all the way,
right,
aren't you?
right.
And it
And
starts at newborn with our Kickstart savings, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And the Kickstart savings, Navigant gives $5 every birthday until they're 12.
Yep.
And then
All right, I have an auto loan with you. My birthay's in October. I'm
You're-
not getting anything.
you're a
right?
little bit
No.
over 12.
Yeah.
But that's why we
But
give you
I'm-
shrimp when you come here.
Okay.
It's more than $5.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
sure it is.
Shrimp is priceless. So they don't have to be 23 to have the Journey checking account. They can come in at 18. It's just that with the Embark, they would need a parent on there with them if they're under 18. So it depends on what their needs are. If they're going to use a debit card 12 times a month, if they're started their job and they have a direct deposit coming in, and then kids are always on their phone. So
No.
yeah, so they can get their statement, what we call e-statements. So they won't get a paper statement. They'll be able to see it on their online banking. So the Embark allows them to understand what online banking is about to then get into the journey. And now they're 18 years old or 23 or an adult in 60s and
We're supposed
70s.
to be.
We earn 3.5% on the balance.
On a checking account.
Daily balance on their checking account.
That's great.
Yeah.
Plenty of banks
Yeah.
don't give you anything on a checking account.
No, just a lot of aggravation
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's what we
Yeah.
try to eliminate. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That is absolutely great.
yeah. And we do have other checking accounts if you have that generation that also doesn't want to use a debit card. You don't have to. So we do have other accounts. They're not interest bearing like this Journey rewards. The Journey allows them to earn a little thing up to $20,000.
Right.
So
To $20,000.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd like to see the 23-year-old who's got 20,000.
Right.
Although you never know.
well, they could build their
You
way
just-
right up to that.
Right.
Absolutely never know. That's exciting. So to go back to what you said at the beginning, Gina, you said it's not that we have anything new. We're just doing what we've always done for our members.
Yeah. Is being there for them and having products that fit everybody, no matter what. Like she said, we have other checking accounts. If someone wants free checks, we have a checking account for them. If someone only wants direct deposit, we have a checking account for them. And we have things other than checking. Naturally, we're full service, CDs, money markets, and then the whole lending piece. So it just really depends. And coming in and having the conversation and giving them what they need and want instead of just pushing something on them.
I had somebody ask not too long ago. I answered it, but not as well as you're going to answer it. They said, our members are our owners are our members. What do you mean if I do business with them, I own the company?
If you do business with Navigant, you're considered a member, and you could have $1 million with us, and I could be a member and have $10 with us. Every year at our annual meeting, all of our members are welcome to go online and watch our meeting, vote on everything.
And your
You
vote's
will get
equal, no
you
matter
will get the
how much
same
you
vote
have.
that I will get. And you are also where our profits that we make at the end of the year, and we have dividends that we will pay back to our members based on the production and how we did for the prior year. Where other institutions, credit unions alike, don't pay their members dividends. We
So
give
you're
that as an
sharing the
added back. Instead of
wealth.
putting it in their pockets, it goes back to the members. So you're profiting on our profit.
Why
and
would
that's-
people want to go elsewhere?
They don't know.
Yeah.
It's because they don't know.
So
We're
a
still
lot of
new.
what you do is education, right?
Yeah, and being in the
Absolutely.
community. I mean, today we had two of our employees, Allison and Courtney, went to the Johnny Cake Center for 2 hours and volunteered. And that's what we do on a weekly basis. We go there, Pawcatuck neighborhood, warm. We'll be serving lunch on Friday, and
Terrific.
we're part of the Rotary. So we try to do what we can to get our name out there and the branding awareness out there for South County. And it's time. It just takes time.
If people want to come in and make an appointment, no obligation, like I can't promise I'm going to open an account, but I'd like to know more about it. Come in and ask questions. Is that something you would encourage?
would love it.
Absolutely. And no appointment needed.
No,
We are
walk in.
full service, and the staff here is all cross trained. So they can talk to me. They don't have to talk to me. They might prefer to talk to Angie or Allison or Julia, anyone. No
I love that
appointment
they're
needed.
cross-trained. They have
They're all,
special shoes. And
they do. We do a
Absolutely.
dance across the
Yeah.
lobby.
We wear many hats.
But it's fun. Yeah, everyone's educated and knowledgeable about what we have to offer. And if someone's unsure, we have new staff also. But no appointment needed. Just come in and just find out who we are.
Yeah.
We would love it. We would welcome it.
Absolutely.
And
Come
I
have some
can
coffee.
I can tell you right from experience, they're not pushy. Nobody is going to annoy you and say you have to sign up. You
I don't know.
have to
Gina
bank
annoys me
with
all the
us.
A
time.
little bit. I tend to do that.
Kidding.
No, that's in your private life.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but I mean, people can come in and ask questions, and then if they want to go home and think about it
Absolutely.
or talk it over with their wife, their husband, their whomever,
Yeah.
that's okay.
We actually, had a member came in today who was in last week, was talking about credit cards. He's having some changes at his financial institution, wanted to know about ours. We gave him all the information, had the conversation. He came back today and applied for a credit card and transferring balances. And he found out right then he was approved. And but that was a week. He may have not come back for it, but he did. And it
was
doesn't matter
seamless
if he
for
comes
him.
back or not. Yeah, but it made a difference to him. So we've improved something for him.
That's great.
Yeah.
And he will tell people.
But that's the hope. Yeah.
how he
That's
got
the
here.
whole
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Because
Good news travels
word
fast.
of mouth is absolutely the
Bad
best
news travels faster.
advertising.
I
Yeah,
was
you're
gonna
right.
say
Bad
that.
news.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
If some business doesn't treat you well, you're out there opening your mouth to everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And few people will say, so and so did a good job for me.
Yeah.
Right.
They usually are just out there complaining.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why we like to do
Go ahead.
our
We're
reviews.
trained.
We hand people a QR code or tell them that they can go and do a Google review, because those positive experiences help Navigant and help the community know that they're going to have a positive experience with Navigant. They're sure there are going to be those people that are negative, but we like to also take care of them and help them through that negativity to turn that around for a positive experience. We're not going to let them leave on a negative note.
Good for you.
Yeah. So if anyone is wondering who we are, what we're about, they can go on and click on any one of our branches and they'll see all the Google reviews for that specific location. Maybe they don't live around here, but they live up north or somewhere in between. And they'll know exactly what they're walking into.
Absolutely.
And
You
it's
still have 26 branches or
26.
24?
26.
26. This
Yep.
was 24, right?
This was 25 in North Kingstown with Steph.
So Steph's 26.
Yeah.
She's-
Her 1 year's coming up in July at
That's
that
amazing.
location. It's moved fast.
It really
Yeah.
has.
It's great.
It does. And I know that location was needed too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there was really nobody in the area
You're right.
doing what you guys do.
Yeah.
So do you have 27? Is it being planned or is it not for broadcast?
I'm going to say not for broadcast, but I'm also going to say it's not a no.
Yeah.
It'll happen eventually.
Discount
I just won't
27.
tell you where.
Okay. Okay. But it's within the state of Rhode Island. Maybe.
More to come.
Okay.
I have to keep my job.
No, I know. No, I know that.
Yeah.
But I
But
also
they're growing. We actually had a smaller credit union, postal and I forget the name.
Mm.
Oh my God, forgive me. But where
Coastal Federal.
they reached out to Navigant because they see what we do in the community, and we've taken on their members, and that is happening hopefully soon. So, we're continuing to grow in more ways than one. It may not be a physical branch that you see, but there's a lot of other things out there, such as our IBKs, for example. They're interactive banking kiosks. It's like an ATM, but on steroids. And they're putting those out there in other locations to have more exposure for people and more flexibility for people who can do full service banking at them. So they're growing in a lot of different ways, not just a building. So
What you just did for Charahoe High School, are you going to do that, or have you done it for Westerly High School?
I have not. I've been unable to get through.
I should think. I mean, you're right in Westerly.
Mhm.
They're right in Westerly.
Yeah,
And
It
do they
was-
have financial courses?
they do. They offer
do?
financial literacy as well. Yes. And the one thing, like Charahoe offers it to their students, and they have other financial institutions that go into their school to provide these resources to their students. So doesn't have to be just a one. I mean, we're all in this together. We're all in the community. We want our children to learn and all of that. So it doesn't have to just be a Navigant thing or a competitor's thing. We can all take part in the educating of our youth. So it'll happen.
Good.
I'd be hopeful that it would happen.
What about the private schools? Like Prout. Although I realize
To be completely
that's
honest,
more
I
in
haven't-
Wakefield's area.
yeah, and we have Wakefield, and they could do that. I don't know that it's been a question that's been asked.
Because I just think that's such a good idea.
Yeah, it's great.
Have you been asked by any groups and clubs to come in? Just
We're-
because somebody's an
yeah.
adult doesn't mean they know what in the hell they're doing
No,
when it comes to finances.
and that's a good point, because the end of the month I'm going to the senior center. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center. We had gone to the senior center previously to teach about scams for elderly.
right.
But we're going to Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center to teach about how to protect your loved ones as they get older, how to title the accounts, how to have things set up so it doesn't go to probate. So all these headaches that eventually we have to deal with loved ones, it's just less of a headache for them and having them prepared. So we're going to teach about that. So there's
That's
so many
great.
other things that we have access to teach our community. It's
In Sunday's Westerly Sun, the attorney who has a column in there had a column on probate,
mhm.
because he said a lot of people. He said it began by saying, "We've all heard the term, right? Do we know what it means?
Right.
No."
Yeah.
And then he explained it, and he did it in simple language, but without talking down to anybody.
Right.
I
Because
thought he did
it's
a really good job.
educating. If people don't know what they don't know, and if we have the tools and the resources and the experience to help them, like for example, Jen and Debbie are here. They're gonna come on soon. Deb does first time homebuyer seminars. We're gonna have one here in May. Jenny helps our small businesses and large businesses with cash management. There's just so much stuff, and so much stuff that in education we can offer. So we lean on our colleagues, and they're going to talk to you about that too.
There's
which is great.
also a lot of wrong knowledge out there.
Yeah.
Stuff that's especially on social media, where a comment is made and then everybody just runs with it, and it may not be true
No, and that's
about
why
anything.
I
but
like
especially when it comes down to money and financing
Yeah.
and first time home buying and any of that.
right. So I like my social media for recipes.
I like
Yeah.
for menus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
menu.
those I can trust. Sometimes those are lies too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't believe everything that's out there. Ask a professional. Ask someone who's face to face that you can talk to.
Oh yeah.
Ask
I like
someone
my-
that you trust.
I like my social media for Weird Sterly and 321 Media.
There you go. Plug.
Plug, plug.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with social media.
No, not at all. It's entertainment.
It's how you have to
Absorb
view
it.
it,
Right.
and absorb it.
Right.
And you can't just go swearing by it,
No.
because
Absolutely not.
it's not
That's
correct.
a whole nother soapbox.
Yeah.
so.
So what else are you going to tell us? I know you'll be back at the end, but
Yeah.
before we bring in Deb and Jenny,
I will say we still have our home equity line of credit promotion. So if, there are things that go with it, but based on your, excuse me, the applicant's qualifications, you can get a fixed rate of 6.5% for the first 12 billing cycles on a home equity line of credit, which is normally a variable rate. It's variable
and that's
after
good for 12 billing cycles.
for 12 billing cycles. So you can really consolidate, do home improvements. I mean, there's so many things you can use it for. That's a whole nother
A lot of people are
conversation.
keeping their homes now. They
Yeah.
were looking to sell and buy
Right.
something else, and they looked at the market and said, can't do it.
Yeah.
So now they want to paint or remodel or add
Right.
on or take
So,
the deck
yeah.
down or put it up or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
And you need money for
You
that.
need money.
Yes.
And
Once
there's-
again, I don't know if you saw this morning's paper, a little scary. I didn't read it,
okay.
but I took it out of the mailbox and I saw this picture, and all you see is lumber stacked up.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even in Westerly. It's in, I think, Middleborough, Mass, or
Okay.
Middleton, Mass. It's Middle something, Mass. And it's saying how high the price has gotten and how it's hurting the builders
Oh,
and all of
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, if you're looking to do something, you want to do it and do it pretty quickly.
Right. Yeah. And we have ways
that
to help.
money.
Yes, absolutely. We have our mortgages, and like I said, the cash management piece, which Jenny and Deb will talk about, but all sorts of different options for them. I don't want to steal their thunder, so
Well,
we'll leave it
you're
at that.
here, there, and there. So
And
I
we're
think
gonna
we'll take a
swap.
short break, right, Gadget? We'll take a short break so we can switch people up, and we will be back live from the Westerly branch of the Navigant Credit Union. We'll be back shortly.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
And here we are back at the Credit Union Westerly branch at the junction of Franklin and Wells Street, or as I call it, Hospital Street. And we are here with old friends that we probably had to pull out off the golf course today. Because as I was driving here, I actually passed 3 golf courses just getting here. And lots of people out. I mean, for those of you who are around the country and don't know, we're usually complaining about the cold. The sun is out. It's about 63. It's really beautiful today.
It's amazing.
So
Beach day.
you, not so much a beach. The water's got to be pretty cold.
You go to the beach year round and get blown away by the windstorms.
Yeah, well, I go. I don't get on a beach, but I go. At any rate, we are here with Deb Beauchamp and Jenny Ellis, and see if I can get your title straight. You are a home buyer mortgage lady, but you're not head of the mortgage department.
I am not. I'm a loan officer and mortgage originator. Yes.
Okay, the loan arranger.
The loan.
That is gonna.
I'm
Oh
a
my
Lone
God!
Ranger.
Can we work together?
Yes. The Lone Ranger.
That is a weird Sterling segment if I've ever heard one.
There you go. And Jenny is, I completely forgot
She
your
runs
Jenny's
the
the
commercial
small
loan department.
business.
I do not run the
That's
commercial
right.
loan
You
department.
helped her get in business.
I did.
Okay.
No, I'm a business relationship manager. So
And
that's
very good at it.
Thank
Very
you.
classy title.
I think my favorite part about Jenny is she's brutally honest. It
Well,
might
I'm
sting a
That'd be my
little.
comment.
It's a good thing in banking terms.
No, it
is
is.
good. It is good.
It is because we
Yeah.
could have gotten way over our head. She was like, "Stop what you're doing and look into this," and I'm like, "Fine."
Don't want to overextend yourself too early. No,
Yeah.
no, not financially.
No, that's good for you because yeah, people don't need to be sweet talked when it's their money and their life and an unknown future, which we all have.
And somebody that everybody's always surprised. We're in East Hartford. This segment of the show brought to you of Amco of East Hartford. So we do banking with Navigant. Why? Because I love Navigant. Which brings me to our listeners' question of: do you have home equity for homes outside of Rhode Island?
The answer is we do. We will do homes outside of Rhode Island, but if it's near our footprint, so Southern Massachusetts, Eastern Connecticut, and perhaps Florida if they had a second home in Florida, but that's about as far as we would go.
Okay, that's a good answer. I expected you to just say no. I didn't realize you did
With
have.
credit unions, we don't like to say no. We want to say no for now, or we can find a way to help you out.
Great. Well, that's what
But
they
we
were.
can do mortgages farther than that.
Okay. Well, I was going to start with you anyway, Deb, because Gina had mentioned that you are about to do a first-time homebuyers session right here.
Yes, we are.
And when's that?
It is May 15th. It's a Thursday night.
Oh, it's soon.
Yeah. So we're going to do registration starts around 5:30 and the actual seminar will start at 6. Probably be about an hour and a half long. We'll supply something for dinner, pizza or sandwiches. And it's a good
No
day.
charge, right?
There's zero charge. And I'm going to talk for about an hour, hour and a half. And we're going to talk about credit, savings, how to get pre-approved, about appraisal, what type of home they're looking for, budgeting. So we're going to have a lot of great information. And it coincides with our first time homebuyer seminar, but it's nice just to get that knowledge. We just did one in Wakefield and we had about 13 people,
Ooh,
which was
that's
actually
very
a good turnout. And I'm doing one at our corporate office, which is pretty far. That's Smithfield. So that.
How do you
but-
promote it besides right now?
So Gina and I have been talking about that. We're definitely going to do, dropping off pamphlets. We're going to have advertisement in the branch, but we are going to put something in the Westerly Sun.
Good.
Yes. So we're just, got to talk to the budget people.
2 words that will work in your ad: food and free.
Okay.
Really, let people know that because if you say 5:30, they're going to say, "Oh, well, I have to go home and make supper." And let them know there will be something, and they're not going to die.
Now that's actually very
They can
important
have
because
food.
there's so many times that we'll do these seminars, whether it be a breakfast or a dinner, and the people come in, they're like, "Oh, we already ate. We didn't know." So that's a great
Yeah.
great
And people
advice
do
because
respond to that.
100%. So yeah, we'll definitely have food for them, and it's a great learning tool. And we did it in Wakefield. It was a very intimate setting. We'll be right here in the branch, so I'm going to let people ask questions throughout.
Again, we were talking with Gina and with Angie about social media. There's so much misinformation out there. And somebody's grandmother's uncle is going to say, "You can't buy a home now. No, I know what those interest rates are, and you got to do this." And he could be so dead wrong, and probably is.
Correct. I think a lot of times people do. They talk to too many people.
Yep.
And, we're just going to try to give them the information that they need, give them the tools, and they can ask any questions they have. And the last one went really well. People were, I said, stop me throughout the seminar. We're going to answer the question right then and there. So it's fresh in their
See,
mind.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, to let them know, because you began by saying, I'm going to talk for about an hour, hour and a half. And I'm
I'm
thinking,
going to bore you to
people are
death.
going, oh my God.
I know.
They have to know that they can.
I'm going to
stop
tell a
you.
couple jokes, so don't worry about it.
It's very
entertaining.
conversational too, and it's very entertaining.
That's exactly what it should be, in conversation. We're all in this
We have
together.
clients that
It's
are
normal.
our age who have said they remember buying their first house through the first time homebuyers program. It's a great program. So it's definitely something that is going to be worthwhile to anybody that's thinking about buying a home soon or within the next couple of years.
And there are people who have bought their first home or remember it when they might have been in their 20s and had absolutely no idea what they were doing. They just listened and they just, yeah, I'm supposed to sign this. You need a check for that. I don't know what I just did. People need to be informed today.
Oh,
when
they're
it's
not even
their
in their
money.
20s. You don't even know. I literally will get people, they'll call me and they're like, oh, we found a house. I'm like, oh, what are the real estate taxes? They have zero idea.
Right.
You're buying a house, you don't even know what the taxes are. Like, you didn't find that information out. So these are the things I tell them. You need to find out this information. Call us so we can make sure you qualify with those taxes.
Exactly. And also, how big is the house and how much per square foot are they being?
And how much are you willing to put down and capable of be putting down?
Yes.
And I was actually in one of the offices with Deb earlier, and I heard her talking to somebody who was trying to perhaps qualify and is interested in buying a home, and credit came up as an issue.
Yeah.
And credit scores are a big deal about whether you may or may not qualify. And Deb is a beast at helping people improve their credit. So at some point they will qualify if their credit's not where it should be now.
I think
now that's good to know.
It is, because what the problem is people go on Credit Karma and it's always higher. Then they call me and they're like, what do you mean I have a 576 credit score? It said I had a 670. There's 3 different scores. We take the middle score, but Credit Karma is always a little bit more inflated. It's not correct. Ours is correct.
It's a great tool to track what helps and hurts your credit as your credit scores goes up and down. But Credit Karma is quite generous when it gives you a score. But it is good to know what's helping what's hurting your credit.
Yeah. And there's something about, you look at it and you say, oh, look, my credit is 670, just to use your example. That's wonderful. Well, that's feeling good, but that's not real life. That isn't going to help you get the car loan, the home loan, or anything else for that matter.
Exactly.
Are people, do you find, and you could answer this as well because you're dealing with people on the commercial end of things. Are people still maxing out credit cards like crazy?
Absolutely.
What advice do you have for them other than stop it?
Don't do that.
Stop it.
You know what? I try to help them refinance, consolidate their debt. I think, honestly, and you see it every day. And I just saw with a couple, I'm not going to say because they actually live around here. And she lost her job. They got 3 kids. You feel bad for people. They got to feed their families. And
Yes.
listen, we all go to the store. I go to the store the other day. I'm like, $70. What the heck did I buy? Literally, I went and got I don't even know. It was like
Probably
nothing,
toilet paper and
nothing
paper
yeah.
towels.
There was no-
That'll
there was-
get you like 40 right away.
Yeah, there was no chicken or steak or anything in this.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself, how do people do it? Right now,
I see
everything
that
is
all the
very,
time.
very high. And people are afraid for their jobs. It's a very, very tough time right now. It really is.
And I find when I'm at a supermarket anywhere, but especially at a supermarket, the person in front of me and the person behind me, they've got their credit card out. Whether it's $12 or $400, they're paying that way. How many times can you do that in a week or a month if you've got a big family?
I had a customer once with $30,000 on a BJ's card.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I actually had somebody do a debt consolidation loan using home equity. We advise whether it makes sense to do a refinance or home equity, but she had $74,000 in credit card debt, and she made 6-figure income but was racked
She
up that
made a
much in credit
six-figure income
and still had
she's-
$70,000 in credit card debt.
The silliest thing I see in my other job is people with a whole lot of money, so much money that they don't know what to do with it. And I think that's, yeah, like literally they'll have a credit
Have 'em
card.
come right here. We are at the corner of
Yeah.
We
Franklin
have
and
great
Wells.
interest rates right
Yeah.
now for our deposit accounts.
And they have those, but they'll have a credit card with like $175 on it that they just don't pay. And it's like compound interest on top of interest on top of
Talk
interest.
about if you don't pay it, think about with the
And then
yeah.
the fees. And I'm like, can you just pay this and maybe cut it in half?
And if you
Like,
don't
Just ruin
pay
your
it,
credit.
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
credit
just ruin your credit.
rating's going down, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're late
I can
or
guess from
don't pay it.
profession.
And
Wow.
like, yeah, so like $3,000 credit card. I'm like, dude, you make $200,000 a year. Can you pay this?
Well, not paying it just crushes your credit.
Yeah.
Being late on a credit
Or like
card,
just paying the $100
yeah,
minimum.
monthly
Yeah.
minimum. No,
Yeah.
no, you'll never have them paid off. You'll never pay them off if you just pay the monthly minimum.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, do you give seminars for your commercial people?
We do give seminars. We
Good.
most definitely do. We talk about usually it's with smaller businesses how to establish an account, the best way to establish an account, have early on having a CPA and an attorney in your back pocket and also a banker in your back pocket. So those are the three people. When you go to your doctor and you unload your medical stuff, when you come to a bank, it's where you unload your financial stuff. And having a good attorney,
Good
banker,
way of putting it, Jenny.
yeah, a good attorney, banker, and CPA in your corner is critical for small business. So we do SBA seminars, we do small business seminars. Right now, we're doing a lot of focus on cash management products, which I can talk about if you have time. Yeah, we do a lot to help businesses. So a business also asks. Often businesses will ask what their business credit score is. Really, it's a reflection of what your personal credit score is. So
I was going to say,
unless
there
you're a
wouldn't
big
be much
corporation,
different.
no,
Would-
correct. Unless you're a big corporation, you might have a credit score for your business. There's bureaus that can actually run a business credit score, but
Oh my
typically
God, please
it's
don't.
what the credit score is for the owners.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can. You've said so many things, and I was thinking about. Oh, I got to ask her. I got to ask her that. Now I can't think of any of them.
Why don't you talk about cash management?
That was it. It was
There we
cash
go. Look at
management.
Mhm.
That was exactly.
I'm gonna
I
have to
think
get
it-
there when
I
you
was
come.
thinking.
Question.
All right, Mike's not here, but you can still talk about cash
I
management.
can still talk about cash management. So cash management is really how a business moves money in their business, in and out of their business. So it's dollar bills, cash, it's checks, it's accepting credit cards, it's paying people through bill pay. So cash manages all those services in which a business moves money in and out of their business. And we can make businesses so much more efficient than they are. We have a lot of businesses that come in and bring 5 to 15 to 20 checks a week into the branch. Somebody like that, we can talk to them about having a check scanner right on at their business property, right in their office. They can scan the checks just like we would here, and they get next day funding.
Is that something they buy? You loan them? You rent?
Good question. So they buy the scanner. It's less than $300, but they own the scanner. It's theirs. It's not Navigant property. It's their property.
Right.
We train them on using the scanner. We do in-person training in their office, teach them how to use the scanner. And it is, I don't want to say it's idiot proof, but it's a very simple product to have and
all
use.
the time and money you spend driving to
Oh.
the branch and
Yeah. So
And that's for the business that you said would come in typically with 10
somebody
to
that comes in with
15,
correct. Somebody that
checks?
comes in with 10 to 15 checks a week, absolutely
which
positively.
is not that many.
That's not that many checks, but we have
No.
some. I've oil companies, landscaping companies, people that have a lot of residential consumer accounts. Some of them deposit 50 to 100 checks a week. So
Ooh.
check scanning is one of them. The other is paying your vendors through ACH instead of sending out checks.
Mhm.
How labor intensive is it to print checks, stuff them, stamp them, mail them? They could get lost in the mail. It might take 7 to 14 days before they get them. Instead, we can set them up with what's called an ACH module. ACH is automatic clearinghouse.
Right.
They can, from their convenience, their own laptop or desktop, pay their vendors. They're paid the very next day electronically. It shows in their bank statement.
And
who
their
was making the
vendors
payment.
must love it.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. And it takes a fraction of the time that checks do. Checks are very old school now.
Yeah. Labor intensive too. We've got to have somebody writing the checks or doing the machine with the
Right.
checks. Yeah.
The other thing we're talking a lot about is movement of actual physical cash. There's a lot of businesses that are cash heavy. Convenience stores, gas stations, car washes, laundromats. A lot of these businesses have to physically bring that money to the branch. Sometimes they bring it in a laptop, in a backpack. Sometimes they bring it in a shoebox. Sometimes they change how they bring it in so nobody's watching that. We have ways in which we can actually have money counters physically in their location. So, and it's through Brinks. It's through a connection that we have with, or a
You
contract we
can
have with Brinks.
send a money counter? You mean a person
They would
or
physically
a machine?
no, a machine. It's actually called a smart safe. So it's a service that Brinks offers, and we have a contract with Brinks. People have seen Brinks trucks or
Right.
Brinks
They
vans.
scare me.
So they scare you.
Those
Like a
trucks
laundry
terrify
chute.
me.
You throw the money in and it gets to where it has to go.
There you go. Something similar. We're going to call it a laundry chute for money. I love that. That's perfect. So where they actually have a physical safe on their premises, the money goes in the safe, and Brinks picks that money up, and Brinks settles that money for them. So they don't have to transport that money down the street. They don't have to drive miles down the road with physical cash or have one of their employees
What
or runners
a
take it.
difference.
Yeah. So these are services that Navigant has always offered. We're just bringing those to the surface and letting people know or reminding them these conveniences are here at a very minimal cost. And from a safety standpoint, a convenience standpoint, there's,
And a time standpoint.
there you go. And
Time
money.
spent
Correct.
having the employee put it in a sack or whatever and go down the street with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, those are the kind of things we're educating our business members and our business prospects on right now.
Now you got to tell your advertising people they need to make a commercial about that. They
But
really do.
We're on it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because other than that, it sounds like it's the best kept secret in the state. It really sounds wonderful.
Yeah, very much. Some of the bigger banks, some of the larger banks that national banks, people know they use those they have those services and they use them. We have them as well too, and we have them at a much more reasonable cost. So we've done a cost analysis with the Bank of America's, the Citizens, and I won't name the people in the neighborhood, the other banks in the neighborhood, but we've done a cost analysis, and we are by far the most reasonably priced.
You're bringing me back to wow, which is kind of it's sad. It's not a good place in our history. But I was in college. My mother was a bookkeeper for a jewelry store in Newark, New Jersey, and she used to take the cash because credit cards weren't even big back then. But she would take cash every day down the street to the bank, and it was on the same street. But then they had riots in Newark, and these were the race riots of the 60s, and it wasn't good. And she had to have, they had the National Guard had a guard that would come every day to the jewelry store and escort my mother down with the sack of money because it was scary out there. There were people looting, they were running in the streets, they had guns, and she would tell me this stuff, and I'm 350 miles away at school.
Perfect.
I'm
sleep.
thinking, oh my
sleep over it.
Lord, that's awful. So I hadn't thought of that in years, but there still are people, I guess, that just put the money in the sack or the shoebox and go. And sadly, there are probably people out there watching.
Oh, there are. And there's people that, and I don't want to scare people about night drop. We have a night drop in every one of our branches.
Right.
If you use a night drop, change your pattern occasionally. Don't go there at the same time all the time. We've never had problem, knock on wood, at Navigant with those situations with any of our members. But
could you go to another night drop that's close to the one you bank with, and would the money still wind up in your account, or no?
no,
If you wanted to vary it.
No, it'd have to be. Well, you can go to another Navigant branch. But we honestly don't have troubles with that. It's really just the idea of transporting $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 down the street, and what could happen? What you've got an employee? What if your employee gets in a car accident? What if something happens and they're not bonded? They're not insured.
Exactly.
Do you not have workers' comp? So, and it's not to put the fear of God into anybody, but
But
there's
a
definitely
different
safer ways of
world,
doing
and
this.
people have to be smart and address it.
absolutely.
Yeah. And
Know
some
your
of the, I
surroundings.
have a dental practice I'm talking to about this. The husband and wife are partners in a dental practice. They're the ones that go to the bank every day. To get to the bank, they have to leave their last customer by 3:30, 4 o'clock to go there and do their deposits, their time is money. There's a significant
Sure it
billable
is.
hours. There's no reason for them to be going back and forth the branch. We want to see them for sure. It's
I
not our
could
way of
take
saying
one more patient.
they could take easily one more patient during that time frame.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've got about 7 or 8 minutes left, unless our 3 o'clock guest is late, but we never know. What else would you like people to know? I really like the stuff that's coming out today because we've gotten very specific about things that can help people. I would like you, Deb, to talk about the home buyers seminar again, because we have people that listen on and off, tune in on and off, may have missed it the first time.
Yeah, so we're going to have a first-time homebuyer seminar at Navigant over here on Franklin Street. May. That's May 15th. It starts at 6. Registration will open at 5:30. We will be serving food. It's free, and it's a great tool to learn how to buy a home. And that certificate is good. So, like if you go to Navigant to do your mortgage, we have a first-time homebuyer program. That certificate is what you need to do this program. Otherwise, you'd have to do an online first-time homebuyer. But if you come, correct, you're going to get certified. And like I had said earlier, it's very interactive. So throughout the seminar, anybody can ask a question. So it's a nice, intimate forum right in the branch, very relaxed, low key, and a lot of great information.
And you just said something I don't think you said the first
Oh,
time
I didn't?
about you will get certified
Yeah.
here.
Right.
So
Right.
if there's no, you're not forcing people to do anything,
No.
but if they choose not to come back, not to make a buy of a home, or not to use Navigant, that's okay. But if they
It
do,
is.
they've got it.
Correct. And I think the biggest thing, and I've said this before on the show, Navigant, and I say this almost every day because a lot of realtors are pushing people to go to brokers. And Navigant sells loans, but they don't sell their servicing. So we retain our servicing. So you have a problem with your taxes, your insurance, you call
What
us.
kind of broker are we talking about?
Mortgage broker.
Oh, going directly to a mortgage broker.
Right.
That
They're-
might offer multiple services or multiple options for financing.
Right.
The day they close, the very next day, that loan is often sold to another financial institution, and that broker can't service that account. So
Right.
once you have a mortgage with Navigant, it's always serviced here. You always
And
have a
that
point of
happens
contact here.
a lot.
A
all
lot.
the time.
The home I'm in now, the mortgage was sold, I think, 5 times before
Yeah.
it was all paid. Yeah.
But the biggest thing too is compare apples to apples. You will not find a lower fee than Navigant. Our appraisal fee is only $450. I know all the other lenders are at least $550, if not more, for an appraisal. Our closing costs are less than everybody. I can guarantee that hands down, it will be cheaper to go to Navigant than any other place. And they do a great job. We don't miss a commitment date. We don't miss a close date.
Yeah, and price isn't everything either. Price isn't everything. Yes, we're less expensive, but you get the servicing and you get the relationship that you get with Navigant that you won't at a big bank.
Right. And our rates are very competitive, 100% competitive. We're right there in the
And
market.
that's what people want to know.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Mm.
Yeah. So all in all, things are good. Things have picked up a little bit. February was very slow. March has picked up. Rates
Well,
have
the
dropped
weather
a
was
tad
so
bit. Oh yeah.
I
It
really
was.
want to go outside. It was so cold.
I know. I don't think people even were thinking of any. It was
I
getting
know.
dark at 4:30. It was freezing. And February wasn't a good time to buy anything or to leave your house or do anything.
Yeah. Once more houses come on the market, it'll pick up. But right now, the inventory, I think there's like 760 some odd houses for sale in Rhode Island.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come April 1st, there'll be a change. You'll see.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
April
Yeah.
1st,
Yeah.
the inventory will pick up dramatically.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sure. Well, weather has a lot to do with that
Oh,
as
God.
well.
Yeah.
Okay. Final comments, either one of you? Jenny?
I guess my comment would be if you have any questions about business banking, about mortgages, about the first time home buyers, reach out to Navigant Credit Union. Reach out through the radio station, reach out through Gina, who will make sure that the proper banker gets in touch with that, the prospect. Whether you're currently banking with Navigant or you're not, we will give you free advice. We'll tell you if the product you're in or what you're doing is working well, or how we can make your life a better, make it your life better, your banking life better.
I think what we've heard since we've been on the air here at Navigant from everyone has been come in and ask, come in, we'll educate you. No, you don't have to pay for our services, and you learn something. It's your money.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, try us out. I mean, I understand there's been, the Washington Trust and the Westlake community down here, but Navigant is a great place. It's the #1 credit union in the state, and we did the most purchase business mortgages in the state of Rhode Island last year. Navigant did.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, now that says something right there. It really does.
Yes.
And that's comparing us to
Oh,
credit
so did
unions, large banks, regional banks, national banks. Yeah.
Well, that
Largest
tells you something. And again, that's people talking, people telling other people.
Yes.
We are going to take a short break now while we switch out people, get something to eat. And that something to eat is for all of you out there, if you are in our area, please stop in. They have outdone themselves. We've got everything from shrimp and veggies and zeppelas for
Everybody says
St.
it differently, don't
Joseph's
they?
Day.
Well, thank you for hosting us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
We'll see you probably in June. Happy golfing. Stay on.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
And we are back here at the Navigant Credit Union. Again, if you are in the area, stop in. I just had some delicious shrimp. I've got veggies, and there's cookies, zeppelas, there's eclairs, all kinds of goodies, pastries, really a lot more food than usual.
This
A
is like,
lot of
yeah, it's like a holiday or something.
food. Well, it is. It is St. Joseph's Day. So please stop by, and you might even get some movie tickets because we're here with the movie guy. It is the third week of the month. And what's doing at the movies, Bill Doherty?
Well, it's always great to be back. And
Up is on.
I'm sorry.
And go.
And the microphone's now working.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, a big thank you to the invite today to have our show right here at Navigant Bank, and it's always a pleasure to come back and see our friends here. So, like you said, anybody wants to stop in, they might get a free movie ticket here. It'd be great to see them over at the movies here in the coming weeks.
And the movies we're talking about the Mystic Luxury Cinemas, the All South County Cinemas. And then we have the cinema right in the center of Madison, and the people in Madison just love that theater.
They do, yes.
And then you have Westbrook, 12 auditoriums in Westbrook.
There's 12, but we operate 9 of them
Okay.
right now. So, but yep, plenty of movies to see down there. And yes, you are correct. That is a lovely theater down there in Madison. My partner and I are extremely proud of that theater. The theater was refurbished about 2 years ago, but we still kept the small hometown charm. And Madison has a beautiful 2-screen theater that is over 100 years old. And as you have and I have spoken.
Is that how old that theater is?
That theater's over 100
If I knew that,
years
I'd
old.
forgotten that. I did not realize.
And if
that.
you go downstairs in the crawl space, you could see the timbers that held this building up. And what
Oh
you
my
have to
gosh.
realize, 100 years ago, they probably didn't have hydraulics. So all this material
Wow.
had to be brought in there by hand. So it is a beautiful theater. And again, my partner Harold and I are extremely proud that we've been able to be part of the preservation of that theater. Because as I've spoken many times, is these especially small towns that are fortunate enough to have a local movie theater, they must be supported. Because I can give you a list of towns that don't have their local movie theater, and just a guess, they wish they had their local theater back.
Right.
So
Right.
we have done that in our theaters over here in South County, also Mystic and Madison with that same thought process is how important it is to preserve the theater.
And I know that people were asking you for a long time if you were going to take the theater in North Stonington, but that has now all been demolished and they are building apartments.
Well, it's funny you say that. On my ride over here, I stopped there. Yes, it is. The building is coming down. However, they've only opened up a small piece of it now, but they're starting to take it apart because all that material does have to be, recycled. All the steel in there, all the seats, everything. So it's quite a project they have going on.
Oh, I'm
there.
sure.
But I could say, which is very nice, is we were able to go in there and the poster frames that were there were really in great condition. So we were able to bring those over to Mystic. So next time you're in the lobby of Mystic and you look at the poster frames, those were originally over at the Regal Cinema. We actually put them down the hallways in South Kingstown. So they are being repurposed.
So tell us what's upcoming. Usually as we get close to spring and you've got spring break and the kids are off, we start getting a lot of kids movies.
Well, the next 2 big ones here that are on the horizon here is the new Snow White. And they've done, I know there's a lot of controversy about this film. However,
Why?
Well, I think I just like you to just read up on it. All
right.
So that I don't get brought into the controversy of it, but there has been some controversies over the film. And then also the movie Minecraft based on the video game, which is very popular. And my partner and Raj down in South County this morning went to see the screening of that up in Boston. And I can say that they got some great reviews on that. And actually, the reviews on the screenings that have been done on Snow White are very, very good. The people that see the film really do like it. So we're hoping it's going to be a good word of mouth picture. And then from there, hopefully we'll start getting into some of the Memorial Day pictures that will come out. We have a Mission Impossible coming out. There's a new Jurassic Park for this summer. So
Another Jurassic
Jurassic
Park? Really?
Yeah, but we're right now we're kind of in a little slump right now, but that's normal here for March. April could be tough months as we get into daylight savings, people wanting to go to movies. It kind of changes from when the weather is, in February and January. And so
what about some of the older ones that you bring back, like the 40th anniversary of, the 20th anniversary of? Do you have a bunch of those?
We do.
Coming?
We do. One of the ones that we're going to do, I don't know if it's actually an anniversary show, but I threw an idea at my partner the other day, and he actually liked this one. So, yes, we are going to bring back An Officer and a Gentleman, which I think would be a great film to play over in the area over in Stonington. We have the military over in
yeah.
So and I remember that movie when it came out. I was probably about 22 years old. So
Yeah, that was very popular movie.
it really was. So that is one thing that he and I have had discussions on for a while, is bringing back some of these classics. And down in South Kingstown, we do have a series where once a month we put on one of these classic shows, and it's actually working pretty well. So I should say some of them work, some of them don't. But for the most part, you know, you can get one that works, and the people that see it really, really love being able to see these films on the big screen. So, but to answer your question, yes, we're going to be looking at some more of these anniversary shows.
Do your patrons give you suggestions? Do they ever come to you if they see you in the lobby, or talk to the guy who's selling popcorn and ask them to talk to you, saying, hey, how come you don't have this, or why don't you bring this back? Or
And the truth on that is 100%. And even if it is a small little film that somebody has asked me, say out in public, they'll ask me about a certain film. No matter how big or how small a film it is, I will send a little note to my partner, because if somebody thought enough to request it from me, that I feel I owe it to them. And it doesn't mean we could play all of them, but we certainly will look at it. A good one was this, and I have trouble with the pronouncing it, but it was the
the one from China?
China, Nija 2. Well, I just happened to be getting my Chinese takeout a couple weeks ago, and it was one of the workers there that asked me about the film, and I had never heard of it. And so I sent that immediately that night, a little note to my partner to take a look at this. And well, we opened that film a couple weeks later. So the answer is,
you opened that in South County, didn't you?
yeah, we played it in all the theaters.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
because I know I saw it in South County. I didn't see it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the listing.
Everybody that saw it said it was absolutely fabulous. As we got out into the suburbs, the grosses really dropped off. But in some of our larger cities in the country, it did extremely well.
Interesting, because you mentioned that when you were here last month.
Yeah.
And then I saw that when they were showing grosses of the week in the newspaper, it was number 3 or something in the country for the highest grossing film.
Yep. Didn't do too well.
It's animated, right?
Yes. And they say it was really fabulous. Again, as we got out into the suburbs, the grosses really dropped off. But it just shows, though, that somebody out there thought enough to ask me about this film, and I passed that on. So to answer your question, yes, if anybody has any suggestions, I may throw 10 of them at my partner, and he may decline all 10 of them, but number 11, he may say yes. So I always make sure that no matter what we have.
So when you're throwing suggestions and he says yes, then he has to contact the distributor. Is that how it works?
Correct. Another one that's coming here in South County, I believe it opens on the 28th in South County, and then actually in Madison it's going to open the same day. It's the Secret Mall movie. Have you heard about that one?
The Secret Mall?
The apartment.
The
mall.
Yes.
The mall apartment.
Yes, that happened at the Providence Place Mall.
Exactly.
Yeah, where the people lived there for like a year and a half.
Exactly.
They had a little apartment, an alcove that they lived there till they were found out.
Oh my god!
And they made a movie about it.
I would love that.
Well,
that's amazing.
To show you how that would work, you asked me about how the distribution on the films. My partner and I think I sent him a little a news feed that I had gotten on the internet. I sent it to him, and he started doing some research. Well, lo and behold, he finds out the gentleman that is distributing the movie is a friend of his.
Wow.
My partner is a
small world in film, isn't it?
Especially if you're in the film buying trade, which my partner is. He's one of the very best I've ever worked with. And so he was able to get the director of the film, and we have I hate to say it, we have one of your competitors' radio show doing an interview down in New Haven area for this movie. So what started out as just a simple suggestion.
Oh, no, I think that's great.
All of a sudden now is going to be shown at 2 of our theaters, and we will try to get it into Mystic too.
Did we talk? Can we go back to Snow White for a minute? Not the controversy.
Okay.
Prince Charming is from South Kingston, Rhode Island. Did we know that? It's true. They told
Okay.
me over there, and now I looked it up.
Wow.
But he was born in South Kingston, Rhode Island, and he went to URI. And
The actor playing Prince Charming
Yeah.
she's talking
Really?
about.
his name is
Prince Charming.
Prince Charming. That's so cool.
Okay.
Yay, Rhode Island. His last name is Burnett.
Okay.
But no, they say one of the reviews I read, they said it was one of Disney's best live animated live action films. So
Getting back to when you said your partner is one of the best in the business, one of the best you ever worked with
oh, 100%,
for film buying.
100%.
I know we have talked in the past about maybe having him on the air with you one of these times.
Yep.
But can you give us an idea from a layman's point of view, not the ins and outs and facts and figures? What's involved in film buying?
Well, I'd have to say the number one important thing is your relationship with the film companies. Okay, my partner's been doing it for a long time.
So they know him.
They know him. Yes. The other one is.
But what's the process? I guess that's what I'm thinking about.
Well, the first thing you have to understand is we are at their mercy. We don't tell them when they're going to release their films. They tell us. They tell us how many prints are going to be available. There might be a smaller film that may be available on only 1,000 theaters, where you take like a Snow White will be available to 4,000. So all that comes into play is how many prints are going to be available.
All right.
And then it comes down to potential theater grossing. So
So is price to you based on potential theater grossing?
Well, we pay a percentage of the gate, which is negotiated by my partner before we open these movies. That's part of the contract.
Okay.
So we know what our percentage is, and it's generally.
Yeah, because you don't know what the gate's going to be till each night.
No, again, we're at their mercy. And
Yeah.
we're at their mercy when they tell us we're going to open that movie.
So a movie doesn't cost an amount of money. You get the movie and then you pay
You pay a percentage
for
of
who came and saw it.
So if 0 people come in, we both get 0.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's why your partner's good, because he has a sense of these things.
Yes, and then the easy, I should say easy part, because I don't know if it's easy, but the one part is we already know when the blockbusters, the major, we call them tentpole films, we know when those are going to be released. Those will shift around during the year, but generally, the big release times, obviously Christmas, Thanksgiving. This year, he and I already know we're going to have a huge Thanksgiving. We have the next Wicked. We already know we're going to have a great Christmas. Avatar. Well, we haven't even gone through the summer yet. So we've got to get through these seasons. So my point is, when the tent poles.
Yeah, because summer 2 years ago, you had Barbie and you had
Oppenheimer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer.
That
yeah.
was
And then
huge.
we didn't have that last.
That doesn't
summer.
happen too often in a lifetime. I would imagine the two of them like that.
No, well, it's
That was the Barbenheimer thing.
Are they capped at all? If something blew up like Barbie and an Oppenheimer, do you owe them up until a certain amount of money and then you can really make some money for the theater? Or
no, those are my dad's days. So those are where you'd have a sliding scale.
That'd be nice
where,
though,
say,
right?
The film percentage would be high at the first weeks, but then by the time you got to the 6th and 7th week, you're maybe paying 35%.
Yeah, we're talking 50-50, but then as it goes,
almost 100% of them are just general aggregates now.
Aw.
Where my dad's day, it was much different, especially in those days. Your films had legs; they played for 8-10 weeks.
Right.
Right.
I can remember doing sellouts in Mystic for the original Indiana Jones in the 10th week.
Wow.
Those days are different today.
Yeah.
So it's done with an aggregate.
So even if you're selling out, if the film company says you can't keep it beyond 6 weeks or 8 weeks, you got to send it back or end it then?
Well, no. Then this is what he is very, very good at is understanding.
Negotiating?
Yeah, and understanding how long these films could play. Sometimes after a certain amount of weeks, it doesn't warrant a full schedule. However, it might go down to one show a day, because remember, the key to our industry is having. It's not about today; it's about what is coming next. I've talked to you about that so many
Right.
times. Yes, we had a great run from Thanksgiving to Christmas, right on to the end of December, the Academy Awards. But right now, we are in a major, major slump. The films just aren't working. That doesn't mean they're not good, but they're just not working right now. Now we look outside today, gorgeous weather.
Right.
Mm.
You're not going to run down to your local movie theater.
I remember is the summer of, I believe, 2023, where the weather was gorgeous all the time.
Yep.
And it was killing you. And then you had there was a,
That would have been Barbie.
yeah.
And that
No, Barbie was 24. No, you're right.
Because last year
It was
Deadpool.
23.
So what happened was, in that particular case, we were, for the conversation, we'll say it was pretty quiet, say April, May, and I can't remember when it actually opened, the Barbenheimer, but as soon as
It was middle of the summer, I think.
yes, I think it was more
Yeah.
in July, but as soon as that happened, you soon forget those slow days. The floodgates are open and everybody's coming to your theater, and in those cases, those films will override the weather.
Yeah.
So you could have that gorgeous day, but it doesn't matter. There's a frenzy. Everybody wants to see that film.
And that's where your morning shows really pay off.
Well,
because if somebody goes at 8 or 10 o'clock in the morning, they can still go to the beach.
I've said this many times. I've been doing this my entire life, and really one of the top things I'm most proud about is the morning show program that we have developed here in Mystic. To my knowledge, and I've researched it, I cannot find another theater in this country that of 4 screens or less opens every day 365 for a morning show.
That's amazing.
It is. Now, I'll give you an example
Now, how was that decided? Was that inherently your idea? Let's try it and see, and it took off?
Well,
Or-
to give you the story on that, it was 2015 when my business partner came on board. And so our first summer, after we renovated the theater, we did morning shows. And this was all new to me because I had never done that in running theaters. So he started putting morning shows in. And then we got to the fall, and he wanted to take them out and start at 1 o'clock. And it was actually Lorraine and I said, let's try it for September and October. And then once we get to November, it'll be busier. So no matter how many we got, we're going to just try to go through it. And then at the end of the year, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I came up with a certain number. I don't know why, but I just said, and I don't know if it would have made sense, if it was profitable or not, but I picked the number of 900 people. I said, for the first, we have to do a minimum of 30 people a day, just to even bring something in to make it work. So I remember the numbers, that September and that October, we came up short. Now remember, you got to take that rainy Saturday and average it in with that gorgeous Monday where you only
Right.
get 5 people. So we, our first September, I remember it was about 860. Then the October was about the same. Then we hit that November.
Now it's cold.
Yes. And that changed everything because now everybody saw that we did this type of show and it has taken off. It is now a big, big part of our success at Mystic. It really is. It's nice. People love them. They do. They come down 10:30, have a coffee. Soon we're going to start putting breakfast sandwiches back in Mystic again. Well, people love coming down there.
Yeah, you've been saying that for some time, but you are going to do it.
I thought it was crazy when we did it the first time, but I brought it up to my partner again. I said, the show works. People love it, especially on a Sunday. They come down, have a mimosa.
Of course.
And,
It's
now-
brunch, Sunday
Yeah.
brunch.
Yeah, it really, like I said, I'm very proud of that. The fact that we're the only ones that do that. But I do love sharing the story. Is the first year we were going through this. Again, you have to be willing to go through the day you only have 5 people to get to the people you have 50.
But isn't it hard, or do you just remember? I mean,
I just,
when you get the day with only 5, do you say, "Oh God, maybe this is the one day it's going to be bad"?
well, I'm going to answer your question here. The first year we got into the spring, we had a day where we had, for the 4 auditoriums, 0, 0, 0, and 1. So we only sold one
And
ticket.
that was in the whole day?
No, that was the morning show.
Oh, the morning show.
So here we are. You know, it was probably about the same time of the year, April, May. Got a nice, gorgeous morning. We've sold one ticket. We've put in like, I don't know, $6 or $7. Well, obviously that's not working too good. But again, I got to look at this as averages. But here's what happened that morning. Once we understood that not many people are coming today, because
And you had to run the movie for the one
100%,
person.
we show it. If it doesn't, one person shows up, the movie goes on. They thought enough of us to come out. We've got to show that we're happy that they're there. So the day we had this one person, Lorraine went in the cafe, our general manager. She got on the phone and she booked in 7 summer camps. I got on the phone and finalized 2 different high schools or junior highs to bring buses of kids in. So the day that we only took in $6 or $7, but we got some.
You made an investment in the future.
Exactly, because those buses came within a couple of weeks. So we have a great staff in all of our theaters. As you know, I only ask our staff to really care about the theaters. The last 2 days have been extremely quiet. I walked in there a little while ago, and each one of them goes and they find their own little project.
Aw,
They really do. They
really good job, guys.
They do.
As a business owner myself, I know that means a lot now.
And that's the one thing I really stress. You know, Lorraine over in Mystic, Raj over here in South County, Ryan and Madison and Emil over in Westbrook, our general managers. They care about the theaters, so their team feeds off of them.
Have you tried the day camp and all, or the camps and all of that with your other theaters, or only Mystic?
Oh no, all the theaters when we
So
get
you
it,
bring them in the summer in buses and
100%.
What does camp consist of? Like, what's their day?
They will generally come down by the bus, and everything is prepaid, and we'll generally have the popcorn and a drink all ready for them. So they all come into the theaters and
Watch
and
movies?
Watch a movie. Yeah. Oh yeah, we do quite a few of those. And again, Lorraine does a great job. They all do in calling out. She'll call the camps really in the next month or so, and these will all be lined up. And after so many years of doing it, she's got a great relationship.
Oh, okay. So these are like kids at summer camp, and then this is
Yes.
like a field trip that they
Right,
take while
exactly.
at. That's really cool.
Well, one of the things I say to all my general managers, my experience of being out in the field for so long, the best advice I can give to them is their connection with their patrons and their staff. Because as the general manager, you better be connecting with your patrons that are coming into these theaters. That's why they're there. You better be connecting with your team, and your team better care about the theater. Again, I know I'm a little bit old school on some of this because I was brought up in a different era. But going to the theater is a very special thing because once it's gone, as we've said, it's gone.
Right.
That's right.
It's gone.
That's awesome.
And what about before we take a short break, I want to give you your mantra, your platform, your song for those people that may not have heard you or seen you before, who are sending in comments and all. What about
if they stopped out,
streaming?
Oh, you want to talk about streaming?
Yes.
Well, I always say
you be proud of me, by the way. I don't know if you are on Verizon or Cox at home, but we got an email a couple of months ago saying Verizon was changing all their equipment over. They were going to be sending new equipment to everyone. Didn't have to pay for it. This was part of what they were doing, and it would be easy to switch over.
Yep.
And you had 30 days from the time they shipped the equipment.
You know,
If- if-
I'm getting ready for you here because you know I'm going to be armed on this subject,
right.
right? I'm
and
ready.
if you didn't do it, you'd lose it.
Yeah.
So the equipment came into me about a week and a half ago. I have a friend who is a Verizon guy.
Yeah.
He's been with Verizon 29 years. He lives around the corner. I looked at the directions. I called him. I said, Chip, get over here. And he looked and he actually said to me, it's a good thing you called me because this stuff wouldn't have worked with, because I don't have a flat screen TV. I don't have a smart TV. I don't have HD. He said, you need this, this, and this. He's already worked there 2 days. He's coming back again
Oh, my
tonight.
Lanta.
But he said to me last night, as he was putting everything in and showing me how to work one of the 3 TVs, he said, it lit up. It said Netflix, one of the boxes. And I said, I don't have Netflix. He said, well, you could. I said, yeah, but I don't stream. He said, no, you can now. He said, you can stream. I said, you don't know. My life would be worth nothing if I streamed. Now you can take it. But I was thinking of you.
As I always say, and it's on our website, is a movie really a movie unless it's seen on the big screen?
No.
Well, okay.
And that is what it says on his
That's
website.
right.
The minute
That's
you
right.
click on it.
Actually
Now,
just
if we
canceled
start
Netflix.
looking as I have to as a businessman, if we start looking at it, I've talked to you about this before. The average person may go to 5 movies a year. Well, guess what? That gives you 360 days to do all the streaming you want. Okay. I'm only trying to get you to the theater 5 times a year. Okay. Some people might.
And that is the average, really?
Yes. I think it's actually less than that.
But this is not the Raj's, who, if he weren't a manager, he'd still go every single day, probably.
Listen, if they remake Tank Girl, my 5 times will be spent watching Tank Girl over and over again.
And it might be the remember the person that goes to 20 movies is going to average in with the person that goes twice.
Yeah.
So
it averages out like your bad days and good days.
That's what I'm saying. So if I'm only trying to get you there 4 or 5 times a year, believe me, you could do all the streaming you want and watch all these movies you want. And my next part of that, I mean, I've got so many different ways I could attack this, but how's Blockbuster Video doing?
They're not there anymore.
Bill,
Do you
that
still
was
have
dirty.
your account to the Red Box?
The
No.
what? Kidding.
Those boxes that were in Walmart
How's
and
your
supermarkets.
how's your collection of VCR tapes?
I have a lot of those. I
Okay.
do. Can't do anything with them, but I have a lot
My
of
guess
them.
is they're probably in a box and you haven't used them in a long time.
Okay.
But next month, I'm going to put on my marquee Mission Impossible.
Ooh.
Okay. Has it changed? I'll always say, yes, it's changed. But one thing that will never change, and all you have to do is be that little fly in my lobby when we have the Barbie, when we have the Oppenheimer, when we have the Bob Dylan, A Complete Unknown. And all you have to do is stand there and feel the energy in a movie theater.
Yeah.
When everything is working right.
And you see it both ways. You see it when they come in and first buy the ticket and get the popcorn, and when they're on the way out and they're.
You know that. My favorite part of my job is when I'm standing at my exit door.
Yes.
Before I sold you the ticket, I already know your reaction. And to be able to stand there and greet the patrons as they come out and ask the little kids how they love that movie.
And you also do something I've never seen done anywhere. You will tell somebody, if you didn't like the movie, you come tell me and I'll give you a free ticket.
If there was a problem, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. If there, I don't want anybody to leave with a bad experience. And if somebody had that series of a problem with a film, it's happened before. So it wouldn't be the
I
first time.
remember you telling us a couple of times.
Yeah. We're in a little controversy right now down in South Kingstown. We played this film, No More Land.
Right.
Which is a very controversial film right now.
Is it?
Yes.
I was reading about it. It didn't sound like it was that controversial.
Well,
but
it is. It did win Best Documentary, and it has been released in certain theaters. The major distributors did not pick it up. My partner and I have had many discussions on this subject. It's censorship.
Right.
And as I always go back to when I have this discussion with folks, Anybody that knows my upbringing, I was raised in the most awesome family with a great mother and father. There was zero violence in my home. So if I'm going to be honest with myself, violence on my screens bothers me. Well, isn't the reality that I wiped out probably 90% of the movies?
Yeah, exactly.
So I do understand it, but also it is a very fine line with censorship. And we've had some films we played in the past, and I know it hasn't appealed to everybody, but we do our best to, maybe Harold will talk to you about this, play the films that people are asking for.
We got to take a
Let's
break.
do it.
We will be out. We will be back shortly. This is Man About Town. We're talking all things film.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
And this is an intro because I lost the button that I'm supposed to push, and go.
We're back here at the Navigant Credit Union, the Westerly branch. We're talking to Bill Doherty. We're talking about films. And during the break, Bill and DJ Gadget, the producer, were talking about censorship. And like she said, we can talk about this without offending people, hopefully.
Well, if I do, I
So-
don't care.
Good,
So-
I'll eat my cookie.
Right? When there's a war in a country, it is not the people. It is not the people who live there. And I think a lot of Americans can feel this right now. Whether you agree or you don't agree, if we went to war, it's not me and you and Bill here sitting here going to war. It is the government's arguing. It has nothing to do with the citizens. So that's my first point. And my second point is when it comes to watching a movie, I always it's really hard for me to watch Titanic and not see Jack and to see Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't think, oh, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. I think that's Jack. So I don't know why people can't do that, because the point of movies is to get away. Don't worry if she's Colombian. Don't worry if she likes the president or not. Don't worry if whatever.
So you
Just
can
watch.
appreciate the spot that puts
Yeah.
us in as an exhibitor.
But
Right.
if you did everything to please every single person you heard from, you'd shut the doors.
There would be no movies.
There'd be nothing.
There'd be none. And that's what DJ and I were talking about over the break there, that it is important that I remain neutral on all these subjects, because if the film needs to be shown, then I must remain neutral, because it may be that it did offend somebody. And we understand that.
I mean, I'm like, you can't, when you're asking somebody to produce art as such as a director, you can't also then put onto them the burden of do a background check and know everything about this person. And if they're a bad person to you, then don't use them. I mean, the girl who's playing Snow White has the perfect little face for Snow. She looks like the cartoon character. Like, and it's adorable.
Which is probably why she was
Which is
cast.
probably why she was probably typecast for having that little face with the wig. It makes it, she looks like Snow White.
I just find it sad that something that I love doing is showing movies that now we've gotten into some of these times where these discussions are now coming up.
Yeah.
So again, I try to remain very, very neutral, but when it comes to censorship, it is important that my partner and I remain neutral, and we never have shown any film to try to offend anybody, ever.
I mean, you could find something in almost any movie in history. You go all the way back, the World War II movies, the movies about Hitler.
Well, it's funny you say that. Last night I was channel surfing, and Coming to America was on, Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, and I watched it for about 5 minutes. And the scene I saw in there, and what they were saying, I was like, I wonder how that would be perceived today. You know, they probably wouldn't use those lines that they did in the movie back in '88.
Yeah.
I mean, I've auditioned for plays where I would be playing a heterosexual married woman. Should I not get that part? Should a straight girl get that part and not me? Because I'm gay.
It should be the best
Like,
actor.
Right.
is that
It should be
appropriation?
the best actor. Not
Um,
who and what they are in their private lives.
right. So, I mean,
That reinforces what I say. That's why
Sure.
I have to remain neutral,
yeah.
and I do. With my staff and with my partner. It's important.
Yeah.
But
People said Barbie had too small a waist, and that wasn't real.
Well, no, it was a doll.
I never heard that one.
I think it's funny if you made Barbie, like the Barbie doll, a person, she'd be like over 9 foot tall.
Yeah. Yeah, with a
All those
14-inch
legs.
waist or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
But again, what are we talking about? We're talking about movies
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the importance of movies, and whether you want to see them for those other 360 days on your streaming TV that you measure by inches, or those other 5 days of the year that you really want to treat yourself and come watch.
Here's something I just thought of. Last year, you brought back, I don't know if it was just one performance or there were a couple, Gone with the Wind,
Yeah.
because it was the 50th anniversary. Well, if you want to talk about prejudice in that, where you've got Mammy, the black Mammy, that's one thing, and all the stuff on the plantation and the war, you can find something in anything.
Yep.
The point is, that was a great movie in 1933, and it still works.
Right.
Movies are like time
A
capsules.
movie that probably can't be even made today. Where are you going to find those actors? Let's start with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you noticed that, like, in movies, like, the people don't talk the same? Like black and white movies, like, imagine, like, Marilyn Monroe movies and stuff, when they were like, "Oh, thank you, sir." Like, all the girls did almost this falsetto little voice. Women don't talk like that, but they did in movies. It's like they turn themselves into a cartoon character. We don't do that these days. We want the most realistic, real. I don't know.
They also didn't have 4-letter words back then, and we
Yeah.
do now.
That's why I've often said I feel so fortunate that I was part of that era as a young boy growing up, watching my dad take the single screen theaters and moving that into when we started building the 2-screen and 4-screen theaters. And so I've seen the.
Now, did your dad, when you were growing up, do the front of the house like you do now?
When he was before, I don't remember him. No.
Did he draw murals on the wall? What?
No.
No. No,
No,
front of the house, meaning
I've-
talking to the people.
Oh,
The answer would be yes when he was a young man. But he
Because I wonder if he got the garbage that is thrown around today. If someone didn't like a movie or thought something was offensive, movies weren't that offensive then.
right.
But I just wonder if he had that experience.
Uh,
You were too little. You were running
right,
around
well,
the projection room.
His days of working on the floors were basically over when I was born.
Ah.
He became a district manager, and then he was part of a circuit that was building theaters throughout the state. So as far as the daily operation on the floor, and I've done that a lot longer than my dad. But I'm even finding myself now, that's even changing now. A lot of my time is spent on fixing things that break, air conditioning systems, that kind of stuff, replacing. We just replaced one in Mystic the other
Talking
day.
to insurance companies.
Yes, that is, so there's a lot of different things that have to go on behind the scenes with licensing. So I do oversee the daily operations of the theater. Harold administrates them, and he does all the film buying. His daughter does a fantastic job. He has brought his daughter on board. She's now actually learning the trade of film buying, and
That's cool.
So she does a fantastic job, and so she really has the relationship. Every once in a while, Dad has to call back in, but
Mhm.
no, don't let her do
But
that.
he lets her do it.
yes, and she does a great job. She really does.
Good.
But
I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd
he's
be
out
like,
there listening. I'll say it again. She's learning from the best. Harold is a fantastic film buyer that understands the industry, and the industry understands him. So
can you imagine me in that position? Be like, okay, we're gonna have 2 theaters of Marcel the Shell with shoes on,
You'd last less than a day.
probably.
but he's very thorough on this. I just got off the home a few minutes ago. He was on his way home. He went to see the screening with Raj of Minecraft. Now that's that game
Whoa.
based on that video game.
Yeah.
Myself, I have zero interest in that. I've never even played the game. I didn't know what it was, but it was very important for my partner to see the movie in advance so he understands what.
Hi.
he's
Oh,
actually booking
you
in
work
these
here.
theaters.
Rona, you have a microphone in your hand. That's fun.
I remember one day he called me up. He was in his car. And he calls me up, and I asked him where he's going, and he told me he was on his way to the Showcase Cinemas in Dedham to go to a screening. He was going to a screening of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I love them.
Well, I wouldn't waste the gas to get over there myself.
What? No anchovies.
You're right.
Which is hilarious. That always got me because they're turtles and they're like, no anchovies. And I'm like, oh my God, really? And
But-
then it made me want to try an anchovy pizza.
But when I teased him about it, excuse me. But in his world, it was very important that he go see that movie to see if that's something that we should be playing at the theater.
It was like live action too, right?
No, this goes back a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
But my point is, he does love going to screenings and seeing what we are playing, whether it's a kids' film or not. So he's very in tune to what is coming to.
Are
our
we
theater.
talking about Raj? Or are we talking
I was talking
about
about-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I was just saying how my partner loves to go to these screenings still.
Ah,
And a couple of years ago, he called me up and wanted to go see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And
oh yeah, I can see you with Ninja Turtles.
as I said,
Raj is so nice.
I
You
said
leave
that
him
to
alone.
DJ. I wouldn't waste the gas to drive out the driveway to go see it. But he wanted to see the film because he wanted to see where he could book that film into.
And it was a big hit, wasn't it?
It was.
I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't go.
Right,
I
you wouldn't.
wouldn't go.
I would probably go.
But if I had a theater, I'd
That's
put
right.
it in there because I'd know plenty of people would go.
That's
Is
right.
there a movie out there that you would be there instantly if there was a remake of?
No, because any of
He's
the
only seen 3 in his
well,
life.
no. It's a great question, but here's yes, I would go see it. But my problem is that any of the movies that I would like to see like remade,
You wouldn't want to see a remake.
You just wanna
nobody
see
that
them.
There's nobody that could pull it off, and I love giving the example. I don't know if we've talked about this one with you, but I have proposed this to people in my industry, and everybody gets tongue twisted. And I call it my Smokey and the Bandit challenge.
Yeah.
We've done
Yes,
Yeah, we've done that.
We've done
We've
that.
done that. Who is going to
Who
play
would you?
those roles?
Yes.
Nobody.
Yeah, who would do the Jackie Gleason, the Sally Field, the
Nobody.
Reynolds?
Burt
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
There's nobody. And then even if you got a cast for that, where are you going to get the car?
I think when Mr. Beast grows out his mustache, he could do Burt Reynolds. Do you know who Mr.
But-
Beast is?
yes, yeah. But
That'd
my
be perfect.
point is that back then what we thought was quote a cheesy movie. Really, how do you pull that off today?
Right.
The other one, that Coming to America, we spoke about that. Where do you pull that off today?
Hmm.
Where's that next Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall comedian? A great one I watched on TV for the millionth time. I could keep watching this one. My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
Where are you going to get any actors to play Fred Gwynn, Joe Pesci, Marissa Tomei?
Yeah.
You're
We
not gonna-
talked about that, I think, a couple of months ago, but you're right.
I would love to see us go back to some of these comedies. As I came in, there was a patron of the bank here, or I should say a customer of the bank, and we had a nice discussion because she had shoes on just like Sean Penn had on Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The black and white checkered shoes.
No.
I was
'cause
like, of
never
course
saw
he
the
knows that.
movie.
Like,
Well, when I saw her a little while ago, I asked her. I said, "Do you know that there's a name for your shoes?"
You talking about saddle shoes?
right here? I'm just
Yeah. But are you talking about the name saddle shoes?
no, they're called Spicolis.
I
Spicoli.
have heard that, but I never knew what
Well,
it was.
most people, some have, some haven't. But here I was having a nice conversation with one of the bank's customers. She had a brand new pair of Spicolis on. So I asked her, "Do you know what the name of your shoes are?" She was wearing them. She didn't know what the name were. So I was able to talk.
She's probably saying, "Who's the strange
Who's the
guy
stranger
that came
guy
in?"
calling my shoes Spicolis. But once I told her, and one of the bank employees here remembered the movie, and yes, that was a big symbol back then of that movie. That's what all the marketing was done around the Spicoli shoes.
Gina, can we see your friend's shoes real quick? No, her. No, not you.
No.
Her.
We want to see
Can
your
we see your
shoes.
shoes?
He's talking about your shoes.
Spicolis, there
yeah.
you go.
Now, oh, good. You can put her on camera.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay, I know what they
Here
are.
are
Those
shoes.
But I did-
Spicolis.
I used to love those. Thank you. I was like, is she still here? Gina.
but my point is, here I am. You invited me to the bank, and I'm having a discussion with one of their. Is she a customer in the bank?
Member.
A
Sorry,
member.
one of the members of the bank, and here I am talking about. I'm talking about a movie that came in out and went like 80s, 86 or something.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, but
Oh,
those
I
shoes
don't know.
have come
Yeah.
back.
that. And when I see people at stores and stuff like that, I always stop them and ask them, "Do you know what your shoes are called?" And they always have the.
And
most
do,
have that
do they
look.
run out of
They
the
have
store?
right. They have no idea what I'm talking about. But once I mention it, they all do. And I remember so many times when the press books would come in and I'd have to cut them out. It wasn't digital, so you had to cut them out, put the rubber cement on, and that's all you'd put in is those two shoes. And those two shoes symbolize Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah, I remember the movie, but I never saw it.
Oh,
I
you should
remember
see
the title.
You want to see a politically wrong movie, watch that one and see if they would do that today. And that's where all like those comedies that we're talking about. Porky's was another one.
Oh yeah.
I played Porky's right up here with at the old Westerly Twin. And the lines of people every Friday and Saturday night.
Right?
Where's those kind of movies? They're gone. When was the last time we had a real good comedy that everybody wanted to go see? It's been a while.
You know what time it is right now? It's time for you to go get some food. And we're going to thank you so much for coming because I
Because
asked,
I'd keep going. Right?
well, no, it's because Gina's our host. She is here. She
And
is,
Gina gave the hook and off, off
no,
the stage.
I
That's all,
asked her. She
Right.
is the manager of the branch, and we are guests, and she should have the last 5 minutes or so.
Definitely should.
to
And I thank
reinforce
everybody.
things.
I'm going to leave a bunch of tickets here for Gina. She's going to find some paper.
She has two
Sorry,
sons who
Beth.
love to go to the movies.
We love to go
okay.
to the
Your
movies.
your sons, and then we're also
Oops.
going to give you a bunch of them to give to some of your lucky members. How's
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We will do
We
it.
always
Now
love having
this
you.
is
Thank you.
this is the place, by the way, where Allison, who was around here today,
She has a baby
it
cow.
was her cow who finished your popcorn last time
And
and
I
had a calf.
And I let everybody know because I should have brought one today, but probably next week I'm going to be coming through here on my way to South County, and I'm going to drop off a bag of popcorn.
And
right?
we have the little bag, so we're good with those.
So you're good with those.
We're good
Okay,
with
so
those.
you
Yeah.
bring the popcorn bill, we got the bags.
There
Gina,
we go.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will see you on the third Wednesday in April.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
thank you so much. She also has a husband, and her. I mean, the sons don't.
She got like
drive
2
yet.
friends. No.
Would you like me to give her- would you like me to give her one for-
Oh, he's getting really tough.
He's getting feisty.
Listen to you.
It
Oh, my.
really is.
I'm teasing you.
Again, this is Bill Doherty from the Mystic Luxury Cinemas, the all South County cinemas. If you're in Mystic, the beautiful theater, not Mystic, if you're in Madison, the beautiful theater right in the middle of downtown Madison, there's only one theater, 2 screens. It's great. I didn't know till today. It's over 100 years old, that
Oh, wow.
theater. I remember the day you put the carpeting in, and it looks like you're in the White House.
Yes.
I mean, it's very amazing carpeting in there. And then in Westbrook, there's 9 of them, and that's the theater you see from I-95 at exit 65.
You're on.
Okay. Gina Brancato,
Yes, ma'am.
head lady, head credit, head union. Some final comments. I think that Jenny and
Deb
Deb
shared a
did a
lot.
wonderful,
Yes.
wonderful job today because they had specific stuff.
Right. Which was nice.
Deb's going to get some people in here for the 15th of May for
Yep.
the home buyers. We're not back here till June 18th,
Yep.
so
But
it's
that's
all
okay.
yours.
Yeah, I mean, we'll continue to promote the first time homebuyer seminar. And after she got off the air with you guys, she met with a client and to go over all of that. So there's a
Good.
need out there. It's working, and she knows her stuff and knows the programs. And Jenny with the cash management. I mean, we really just want the community to know that we are full service. We are in the business of building relationships and not just you're just treated as a number, come in and open an account and leave, and we never talk to you again. So
I think the most impressive thing I heard today, and it was from Jenny and Deb, was that last year the Navigant Credit Union did more mortgages than any other bank or credit union statewide,
that's correct.
and that's all those huge banks.
Right. Yeah. We have some competition, and they continue to rise above and do what it's doing what's right. So yeah, it's exciting. And we have, like I said in the beginning, the products we offer, there's something for everyone. So we just really want to encourage people to come in and ask us questions. And we don't expect to, do something right then. Like we said, it takes time to build that trust, and
Right.
we're here.
Well, you
Listen.
build relationships. You
Exactly.
definitely do.
Yeah. And we enjoy it.
And I think again, the slogan is great about our owners are our customers are our owners. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
But people still don't understand the ownership part of it.
Because
That-
we're not just coming in and we're providing you with a service. You're coming into a place that you are part of, that you have a voice in. If you have a suggestion, if you have feedback, and they allow those lines of communication to be open online, anyone can go on and provide feedback. It goes right up, and they're going to get a response from a real person within 24 to 48 hours, whether it's a good feedback or a negative feedback, an improvement, a process. They listen. So it's that type of ownership that our members have of Navigant as well.
Well, that's what Jenny was saying too, that, you're not candy coating it. You get
No.
you get the truth. You get the
Right.
real thing. This is where you get a real credit score.
Right.
This is where you get the facts about why are you spending money the way you're spending it,
Right.
or
Sometimes you have
maxing
to
out
take a
credit
hard look in the
cards.
mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she used the example of, or maybe it was Deb, when you go to the doctor, you bring in your, when you go to the doctor, you bring in certain stuff.
You put it
know,
all
for
out
your
on the
physical.
table.
Right.
Yeah.
You
You're
have to
honest.
be honest. You
Yeah.
can't get honest.
But when you go to the
help.
bank, you got to bring in your financial stuff.
Right. You got to be honest with what yourself, what
Yes.
you have to spend.
I always
And
say
here's
at the
Deb
end of the
again.
I always say at the end of the application, we're going to know your whole life story.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Well, that's true.
And sometimes we're psychiatrists too.
Oh, so yes.
But if you
yes.
don't know their life story, they can get a big surprise that can ruin their life down the line,
You're
and
absolutely
that's
correct.
not good.
Nope.
Why
She
are
needs
we
her own
hearing?
show.
Why are we hearing alarms? Are you closing?
That was the
We're close to
ambulance.
the hospital, remember?
Oh,
Corner
that's
of
right.
That was
Franklin
the
and Wells.
I thought the alarms were right
No,
within the
no,
bank.
No.
Good. Okay, yes, we are close to the hospital. It's really a wonderful location because you've got great parking.
Yeah.
You're right in the heart of everything.
Yeah, we have our drive-through. We're open till 4 Monday through Wednesday, 5 on Thursdays, 5 on Fridays in the lobby. But our drive-up's open till 6 on a Friday,
Oh,
and Saturdays 8:30 to noon. And we're full service 6 days a week. So there's always a notary on. If you need a signature, a medallion stamp, those who need it know what it is. We have that. We have all the services.
so should have thought of that because I
Ah.
do need a notary.
See,
Ah,
me and Angie are one, and there's always we're never not here.
All
The
right,
two
I'm
of
gonna
us.
come
So
bother you
one of
later.
us is always here.
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you take more vacations than anybody.
I
though.
try.
I know that's what your predecessor said too. She said, "Well, that was part of my negotiation in getting this job." Thank you so much for having Man About Town back here.
We always enjoy it.
We love to come. The only part of it we don't like is that our co-producer, Roxy the Radio Dog,
Oh.
is not here,
Oh.
but that's okay.
Thought you were
Maybe
gonna
we
say
can
you
make
didn't
her
like me.
we can make her
Oh.
a service dog.
She is a service dog.
Maybe we could make her a legal service dog
We have dog treats we can give her.
and have her come in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rona.
Next week, we will be back at our normal time from 3 to 5 o'clock. In the 3 o'clock hour, you're going to learn all about allergies because we're having the tale of the allergist's wife. We're having Nicole from the Granite talking about another great show that's about to open. And then at 4 o'clock, we have everybody's whirling dervish, Lisa from the Chamber. So we'll see you next week. Be well, take care, take a risk, but not on the road. See you then.
Oh, I should probably end it, huh? Hold on. I wasn't ready for that. I was just listening to you. It was so nice.
Oh,
Hold on.
it's like Lucy with Charlie Brown
Yeah.
playing out in the field.
I don't know how to end it. Then.
Say goodbye.
Yeah, but there's buttons.